Okay, next one. How do we set the target, right? So that's step 4. So it should be something challenging. It should be something that we don't know how to do it now. That if we do a value stream map before, right? We just learned about value stream map. Maybe the target comes from value stream mapping, right? You remember we did set up some targets for up times, for changeovers, and cycle times and cells. So sometimes the target can be developed ahead of time, and then you start the project with the target. Sometimes you don't know the target because you don't know the current situation, so you have to go there, study, understand, and then, oh, this is the situation. Then, okay, if this is the situation, the target should be this, right? So here is that last situation where we don't know the target when we start the project. We will set a target when we start the project, right? So remember that we saw this on the Lean Six Sigma part. It should be SMART, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and a time constraint. We went through this with the Lean Six Sigma material. And here is kind of an example of how to set it. So we have a current condition, which is about 20%, right, below the ideal, or the goal here. And we can set a target. It doesn't have to be exactly the ideal. It could be a little bit better, right? So we're talking about continuous improvement. I think the importance here is to improve a little bit at a time. It doesn't have to be big jumps or big moves, right? And I can, for example, reduce the performance gap from this to this, or improve the productivity from this to this. Next, step 5 is to identify the direct causes here, right? So again, we learned this in the Six Sigma. We can use a tool called the cause and effect diagram. So it's a tool that's a lot more used actually in Lean projects than in Six Sigma projects, which you guys know how to do it. This is just another example. You can do Brainstorm to create this tool. You can use Get information and data and kind of put everything together. So I'm not going to go over it again. But as you can see, we're funneling it through, right? Same logic of the Six Sigma methodology. We're coming from a very vague problem, identifying, locate where it is, locate what problem causes, and then dig it into to get to the next step, which is identify the root causes, right? This is just an example, like say here, the logo peeling or missing letters here, and you can have machine made material and method, and you can have different problems associated with that. So after doing the brainstorm exercise, you have to find out how to identify the root causes, right? So based on data, based on facts, based on direct observations, you can identify these, 6 or 3 or 4 main causes that you're going to dig into that. Okay. Okay, so number 6, identify root causes. Again, we know we did the fishbone. We know some of the causes there. Then you need to dig into that, right? You have 4, 5, 6 different ones, or 3. Then you take each one of them and you do a root cause analysis, right? So we know the tool that we do that. It's called the 5 why analysis, right? So we get into what actually started the problem. So kind of going through the funnel a little bit more. You guys remember this example from Washington Monument, where we did the 5 whys here, identify what was going on, right? Why the monument was disintegrating. And then one way to kind of verify if what we're doing is right, if it makes sense, you go back with the therefore, right? So they're attracted to the lighting up to dust, therefore they eat the nags, and there was a lot of nags, and then therefore they eat the spiders. There was a lot of spiders, and therefore, and so forth, so on, until you get back to that, right? So the lights attract the nags. The nags were being eaten by the spiders. The pigeons were pooping there because they was there because of the spiders, and the hash chemicals were being used to clean the poop of the pigeons, right? So then you get to the actual root cause using the 5 why analysis. Some key points here is to focus into facts, right, not opinions. So people get mixed sometimes when we talk to someone, the difference between a fact and an opinion, and we need to use facts as much as possible. The Six Sigma gives you a bunch of tools that we can use to test this, right? Test the relationship between different things. If we have the data, we can use two-sample t-test, we can use regression, and a lot of, and that gives you facts, right? Give you actual relationship. But remember that we're doing this in most cases based on interviews, and a lot of times people put their opinions into that. So we want it to be based on facts as much as possible, right? And here I have an example. Someone say, you know, it's going to rain. There's clouds outside, so it is going to rain. It is cloudy outside, that's a fact. It is going to rain, that's an opinion. So being sure that, you know, you're using as much facts to support your assumptions as possible, and then try to confirm the opinions to see if they're actually right, right? So go there, study yourself. Next video, we're going to talk about evaluating the plans.